Hey, what's up, everyone? First, I want to say thank you to all of the birthday wishes to my mama. Thank you very much for all the happy birthday wishes. But back to another topic. I wanted to share a few things that have happened today. I've had a lot of strangeness throughout today as well. Earlier, I went to put the dog back up. I left him out in the sunshine for a while. He likes me to just leave him out there for a bit, and once it turns dark, he wants back up. He's like, "Let me back in, let me back in." That's the way he barks. He's like, "Roof, roof, 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 roof." And so what happened was, when it turned dark, he wanted back in. So I heard a loud, like a boom, like something fell in the house too. As I was like right there in the kitchen, something just made a loud noise. But I wish I mean, the weird thing is, nothing ever wants to happen when. It's like something always happens to the files when I do get something. So that's the thing. But back to what happened tonight. When he wanted back up, I had the headband light in that had fresh batteries. It had new batteries, and it was the bright headband light, one of the bright ones. And so I had it on, and as I got to the garage door, I turned around because I seen some kind of a shadow movement to the back right of me, like right over there into the yard where the pine trees are. Just moved by really quickly, past the other dogs. Just a shadow, just boom, just really quickly. And even right now, there was some kind of sound of movement in here. But anyway, there was this shadow movement, and after I heard that, I noticed that, I knew something was around. And then my headband light started flickering. It started flickering and flickering and then went out, and I couldn't turn it back on. Then I said, "Look, just leave the headband light alone." When I got back in the house, and the headband light came back on. And it's like it drained it. It just totally messed it up. The last time I commanded that, the light came back on bright. I was dark at that point, but I've had a migraine headache all day. I took 2 Excedrins when I woke up. Nothing, it didn't stop it. I just took 2 more Excedrins. Still didn't stop it. My head's throbbing, and I have this huge. I've been having this itching, just itching all over. It's like this all over allergic reaction, just allergies, just itching all over. I know it's spring. I know that things like that happen, but I get this quite often when these awakening symptoms come back. It's hard to explain to other people. And then something will just make me suddenly very sleepy, and I'm getting into a sleep mode, and I'm just starting to fall asleep. And it's like you're going to sleep when that happens. It's just, there's no way around it. But I made a fish dinner today, and I made a fish and stir-fry type of fish dinner with spinach and olives and mushrooms and various vegetables and teriyaki. And it was like a garlic butter fish with all of that in it, and garlic and herb breadcrumbs and all kinds of stuff in there that I put in there to make it. I'll show you a picture of it here in a moment. This is what I made for my mama for her birthday, and for my daddy as well. And finally, I made one for myself, but it kind of got all messy when I made it for myself, so I just kind of chopped it up, mixed it all together. But you can see there's the fish, and there's the fish, the stir fry on the bottom, and then there's the spinach with the all kinds of things that I put in there, all kinds of things, and the 2 olives that I put up in there, and cooked the mushrooms separate with basil and teriyaki. But it was a delicious stir-fry fish dinner. But anyway, back to the topic. Everything is messed up on me. Earbuds going out, the power draining on my devices. For example, my phone was at full power a little while ago. Now it's at 11%. And we were streaming Breaking Bad earlier on Netflix. I pulled it up for them. I had the device play Breaking Bad. Well, every time I walked into the room, I would screw up the signal. I would mess up the signal, and it would become blurry. And there's no excuse for that now. Not for the price. Not for what the internet is supposed to be, the speed it's supposed to be. And as I walked in the room, it froze and quit. Walked out, it worked. Walked back in the room, it quit. Walked out, it worked. So eventually I had to have it casted to the Chromecast and ask Google Speaker to play it from Netflix, and it would play it. I actually then eventually just casted it from my phone. So it would mess up. My phone would mess up, everything would mess up. My phone froze again earlier. And when it freezes, it does impossible things. I mean, like half of the screen will be, or a quarter of the screen will be keyboard, and then you'll see half of the keyboard, and then full keyboard, and then it'll go all kooky, and the system processor messes up. That's the way things do around me. They've done that since I was born. Since I was a child, everything is messed up on me. Headphones, one side would mess up. Earbuds, one side would mess up. Electronics, I never could keep electronics as a child. When I had a CD player, I never could keep it working. It would always mess up. If I had earbuds, they would always mess up. Headphones would mess up. One side would quit. And I always thought it was the crappy electronics that they made at the time, but then speakers would mess up. I had various portable radios, FM radios at the time, AM, FM radios, they would mess up. And that's happened to me my entire life, where electronics would mess up on me. Light bulbs would blow on me. All kinds of things. Now that we have these smart lights, though, it's hopefully not as likely, but or a few of the lights are, anyway. And smart sockets. But the things that have happened around me is my device is drained today. There's a laser pointer that I use to play with a cat, and it's got a flashlight with it. Well, that drained, and that's a fairly new battery, AA battery. It drained, just died instantly. So I had to put another battery in there. It didn't want to work. Another battery, it didn't want to work. My mama put a battery in there, and it worked. But when I held the battery, it wouldn't work. None of them would work. And as a child, I would show my granny, and my mama as well, I would always say, "Look, Granny, I can charge batteries." And I would put batteries in my hands, and not as much now. I haven't done that in a while, but I would just rub my hands together and concentrate, and would hold the batteries in my hands, and they would actually charge. And when you put them back in something, they would be working. And they would work for a little while more. A little longer. That legitimately happened to me. And oh yeah, I also fixed a cheeseburger today, which I've done many times, but I fixed a couple of meals today. Off topic, wasn't it? But but anyway, yeah, I would walk into the room, and every single time it would screw up the internet. I don't know if I interfered with, I guess I did, interfered with the router connection to the Fire TV stick, or if any type of device, I would mess up when I got in between them, or went into the room, I would mess it up. And that's how I am. I mess electronics up quite often. And I've still got this migraine. I'm starting to feel kind of nauseated and a little bit like a chill, so I'm going to have to take some Tylenol. I'm not feeling too well, so I don't know. Things just come up on me all of a sudden. It looks like those cuts, those scratches, and the bruise are they're just pretty much healed up. But I've had so much that happened. Used to, I would get scratches that appeared on me when I was being messed with by dark entities. And my mama witnessed that. I would be there, and suddenly I would get the word hi written on me. H-I. It was like saying hello. And then, yeah, that's what I would get. I would get the word hi written on my back with scratches. And those scratches would burn. It's like laser scratches, or you would get like do-do-do-do-do, like dots. Just, it would be like that this right here. Just do, but make up a straight line. And then they would just be sometimes from the inside out, or all kinds of things. Back before I had cameras to document what was going on, back before there was internet to share things, and that would happen to me quite often as a child. I would get all these scratches and allergic reactions, and I would burn, and my hands used to swell up when I touched cold things, and it was a rare allergy to the cold. And if I put a cold drink on my leg, whatever, it would swell up in a huge pone. Welt marks would pop up. But used to, I would always get these reactions to And also there would be these 3 bites appear in a triangle. When I would pet my favorite cat, he was very, very humanistic. He was something special. He was a coon cat, a Maine Coon that I don't even know how he came into our lives. Our cat had him, and he was a large cat, and there was no cat like that around here, but he was born from her. And then we had him for 15 years, or 16 years. He passed away in 2011, and I have an interesting story regarding a magazine that we got before it even came out. Man, I have such strangeness. A magazine that we got before it ever came out, years before. And we got the magazine with a coon cat on it 3 years before it even came out. And exactly 3 years to the date the magazine was actually released in this reality, he passed away. The date of. The magazine released December 2008. We got it in 2005, which is 3 years before then. We just got it from the school. She said, okay, here, we could get it. And then it actually, somehow or other, when you look it up, from Cat Fancy Magazine, that magazine came out in 2008, December 2, and then you don't see the zeros, but you see the 8. 2008. The cat's ear covers the zeros. And then our cat passed away, our coon cat, which looks like the cat on the cover of that magazine, December 28th. Wednesday, December 28th, 2011. And when is that? That was 3 years after the magazine released in this reality. So if we'd have just looked at the fact that we got it 3 years before it even existed, we could have actually seen the date that our cat was going to pass away. And he was very connected spiritually to things, to entities, to beings, to he would run them off, he would protect you from them. When he was dying, basically, something opened the door while we were gone, the restroom door, and let him in the restroom to stay. And closed it where he could stay in there with a heater. And when he was about to pass away, Native American Indian chief heads and all kinds of things appeared on the pine trees and on the electric pole on our property. I'll never forget it. I even got them on recording and with pictures and video. And it said, let him go. And it said, Whitefoot, let him go, let him, and all kinds of things, basically telling me to let him go into the woods, but I didn't want to let him go. And he passed away Wednesday, December 28th, so that's an interesting story. I'll show the magazine and I'll share about it very soon. That's a very personal, very detailed story, intimate story, very important to me, and that is something that I didn't know if I would ever share on here, but I decided to. Anyway, much love. That's more strangeness. I'm also interfering with electronics again, just like I used to, and draining batteries, interfering with everything, and I've got this migraine that won't go away on the right side of the front of my head. Maybe it's a sinus migraine, I don't know. Sinus headache. It's just Excedrin's not helping it, so. Right now I feel like I'm getting a fever, so I gotta take some Tylenol. Anyway, peace, much love, I love you all, and I hope to speak with all of you again very soon. Let me know what you think about all of this strangeness that I deal with. My links are below if you'd like to support me and help out. I would greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to show your love and appreciation to this channel with a donation, feel free to do so. I love you all regardless, and even the smallest amount helps out. Peace. I love you all. Bye.